There we go. All right. I'm going to tell you, we're going to tell see if our stories match up. I'm going to tell you the story about the night that I ate my nuts performing in front of Roger Waters and his band and crew. I was in Auckland, New Zealand, doing some shows. Roger Waters is there performing, and I'm there to watch him do 4 nights in Auckland. And then I find out some friends of mine are there. System of a Down. So I contact John and Shavo, who've always been really nice to me and always been really supportive. 2 different types of support, though. Like, Shavo is unconditional love. John has told me to my face that I sucked.
No. Not that you sucked. It was constructive criticism.
It absolutely was. There was one night on an off night from the Ozfest tour where a bunch of guys from System of a Down, Disturbed, I want to say Seven Dust. There was all these bands came to a comedy club to watch me perform, and Jim Brewer performed. I had a bad night. I was off, and I walked off stage and said to all my friends, like, man, I'm sorry. And everyone I talked to was like, no, man, that was great. That was great. And I was like, man, I'm sorry. No, man, that was great. I walked up to John and I go, hey, John, sorry about that. And John goes, hey, you know why you sucked? I'll tell you. First of all, first thing you did, and he gave me absolutely spot-on criticism of my show. Fast forward 5 years later, and I make the mistake of telling John something that came back to bite me in the ass. So here's what happened. Roger Waters decides he wants to see me perform a comedy show in Auckland, New Zealand, and he wants to close down the comedy club and make it a private party for his band and crew. And I tell my friends in System of a Down, hey, so Roger Waters is coming to hang out with me. So I'm doing like a private show for him, and if you guys want to go, I can see if I can work something out. So I work something out so that Shavo and John can come down. Right before I do the show, I'm talking about how amazing this is going to be. Roger Waters is coming to see me in my home, like a comedy club. And John said, what if you bomb? And I said, and I didn't even cross my mind. And I went, I'll tell you this.
What if?
I go, what if? I go, if I do bomb, it'll make for a great story. And then I made the mistake of telling John some funny lines that comedians say to each other when we bomb. One of the most classic is when somebody bombs on stage and the next comedian comes up, you walk by the other comedian and go, great speech. And then you walk up like you don't want to hear that. Serge, we're in the middle. I'm telling the story about one night when I bombed in front of Roger Waters. And John's going to tell me his version of the... So anyways, Roger Waters comes to the club. He already is not happy with the opening act.
No, he liked the opening act.
See, I remember him not liking the opening
I
act.
remember him laughing because I was watching him very closely.
Okay, so John already says that the opening act was going over well.
And I laughed as well.
Okay.
Unlike during your set.
I go up on stage, and I'm ready. Roger Waters is here to see me. And I believe in my mind that Roger Waters and I are going to become friends after this. I think that we're going to end up sipping espresso, and he's going to explain the wall to me. Like, we're going to be...
go on the rest of the tour with him. You never know what
because he's in my home. He's in my home. He's coming to see me in a comedy club. He's not asking me to perform in an arena or opening for when I open up for you guys. And
right.
So I go out and everything goes sideways right away. I decide to make a joke about how I could have performed anywhere in Auckland that I wanted to, and I decided, fuck those places. I could have performed in the Vector Arena, but you know what? That place is a shithole. Clearly, I'm joking.
I saw him there.
Yes, clearly I'm joking. And Roger Waters goes, what's wrong with the Vector? Because that's where he's performing. He doesn't get that I'm an idiot making a joke that I could never perform anywhere outside of this tiny little shithole comedy club. And it just starts going south. I'm not getting any laughs. It's like a private party.
It's all their crew, by the way.
It's all their crew. And so essentially, here's what's going on. If you've ever performed as a stand-up comedian at a corporate event, if the boss isn't laughing, nobody laughs. And the boss in this room is Roger Waters. And he's disgusted with me. He's not enjoying anything I'm doing. And nobody's laughing. And I decide, okay, I'm going to call an audible. This is really cheap, but I'm going to do a masturbation joke. It always gets a cheap laugh, but it works. So I start doing a masturbation joke. It's not getting any laughs. I'm in the middle of pantomiming, like I'm jerking off, when Roger Waters goes, ugh, grabs his glass of wine and goes, ugh, and he left his own party. He said, did he say that? Wait, you gotta get that.
No way, what'd he say?
He said what?
So he was standing on the wall, right?
That's the craziest part about it. Ironically, he's leaning
No, I'm
against the
talking.
wall. Okay, all right.
There's all these tables. They're all filled. It's all crew guys. It's our big night out. You know, like every now and then Roger Waters takes everybody out on him, dinner, this, that, to entertain the crew. And who's the entertainment but Craig Gass? So he's sitting there with his wine the whole night, like during the first act, laughing, chuckling, like very witty, this, that. And Craig comes on. It's like a scene from Silence of the Lambs. You know when you're in the theater and it's like that moment before something's gonna happen and it's just dead silence? That's what it was like watching his performance that night.
Now,
Except add a lot of sweat coming down the sides of his head.
Now, keep in mind, I made the mistake of giving John a line
Right.
before the show started.
Never make that mistake again.
And this is what happens. So
But hold on.
Roger Waters leaves. Go ahead.
Hold on.
I just want to say your line, but go ahead.
Before that happens, so he's sitting there like this with his wine, and he went from like smiley, jovial, having a good time, to a very serious look, as if he was like looking at a piece of art at a museum or something like that, trying to figure out what Craig was doing. And then he goes to the masturbation bit, which by the way was completely unfunny. Sweat and masturbation, not a good combination.
Yep. And I'm in the middle of doing this jerk off thing. Rogers goes, ugh, walks out of the room.
Walks out of the room and
Yep.
leaves.
And leaves.
Leaves.
Takes up his own party. It's his party. He's leaving his own party. I watch him walk out. I go, oh man! But I still have my friends. John and Chavo are here.
Of course,
Chubbs
they're
and
always here.
Tom Robb and here's the whole road crew for Roger Waters and his band. And I stopped and I went, so what else do you guys want to hear? And John yelled out, how about another speech? And I went, oh, and it got the biggest laugh.
By the way, it did lighten up.
Yep, it did lighten up.
After Roger left, it lightened up.
It lightened up a little
They
bit.
started laughing.
Started
Started
laughing.
getting some momentum.
And the
Too
worst
little, too late, but you know.
The worst part about it, his entire road crew tried to console me afterwards. And
It's all
good,
bro. Yeah.
including one guy who said, hey, let me tell you something. He said, I've been working for Roger for 40 years. I saw him walk out on John Lennon once, and I said, you know what, don't compare me jerking off on
But
stage.
in all fairness, it was John Lennon doing comedy.
Right. It was John Lennon going, hey, Roger, where you going? Where you going, Roger? This is my White Album. Where you going? And that was the night that I realized, don't ever invite your friends to,
Especially Chavo.
especially Chavo and John, nights like that. Thank you.
Good speech, bro.